The evening my wife asserted I never truly comprehended her feelings, I refrained from disputing, debating, or clarifying, instead opting for silence that fundamentally altered our relationship. My name is Daniel Harper. I am 39 years old. For a decade, I held the belief that I was a good husband, imperfect, but consistent, dependable, and present at least in my mind. My wife Emily once referred to me as her sanctuary, the person she could always rely on. However, that sense of security began to dissipate over time, not overnight. It started with her withholding minor details, then ceased queries about my daily life, eventually leading to a complete cessation of conversation. The silence wasn't serene. It was oppressive, the type that permeates a room and creates a sense of detachment. I observed this shift, naturally, but I rationalized an easy explanation. She's just under stress, work, life, tension, I convinced myself, until one fateful night when she finally voiced her concerns. At the dinner table, our meal remained untouched. "I feel you don't comprehend me as I once thought," she expressed. I raised my gaze. "I'm making an effort," I responded. She sighed, shaking her head. "No, not really. It struck harder than anticipated because while I was trying in my own way, perhaps not the way you needed. What specifically do you want me to grasp?" I inquired. After a moment of contemplation, she spoke words that altered everything. "I feel isolated even when you're physically present." There was an immediate quietude, for such a sentiment couldn't be debated or logically resolved. It was emotional and genuine. "I didn't realize you felt this way," I whispered. She chuckled, not joyously, but wearily. "That's the predicament," she said, and for the first time I acknowledged something. I wasn't losing her to another person, I was losing her to emotional detachment. The subsequent weeks saw no improvement, only a growing quietness. She increased her solitary activities, reading, walking, secluding herself in separate rooms. Remained constant in work, support, existence, yet disconnected. One evening, returning home, found a note. "Requires time to reflect." No theatrics, no outbursts, merely a request for space. For the first time in years, the house felt barren. The initial days were peculiar, silent, excessively so. However, something within me stirred as her absence allowed clarity. I wasn't a bad spouse, but had grown complacent, monotonous, detached in my own way. I didn't hinder her departure, for I understood something crucial. You can't compel someone to stay when they feel isolated. Instead of pursuit, a transformation. Began observing not her, but myself. Altered my schedule, rose earlier, read, listened, contemplated not about what was lost, but about what emerged. Months slipped into seasons, no contact, no communication, nothing, until one evening the phone rang. Emily, gazing at the screen, I responded, "Hey." Her voice, while soft and familiar, seemed altered. "How have you been?" she inquired. "Good, just contemplative," I replied, leaning back. Then she paused. "I believe I finally comprehend now." This statement startled me. "What do you mean?" I questioned. "I thought you didn't care," she said, but I realized. She took a breath. "You just didn't know how to express it." That revelation was striking because it was accurate. "And I didn't know how to ask for it," she added. A pause filled the air, genuine and sincere. "Can we meet?" she asked. After some thought, I agreed, "Okay." We rendezvoused at a tranquil park, reminiscent of our past visits years ago. She appeared unaltered, yet transformed, more present, more conscious. "You seem different," she commented. "I am," was my reply. We strolled leisurely, without urgency or expectation. "I don't wish to revert to the past," she said. I concurred. "Neither do I," she gazed at me. "Do you think we can try again?" This moment differed from any other narrative. This interaction wasn't about retaliation or making a statement. It was about comprehension. I gazed at her, suggested a change in approach, if only we could do things differently. She smiled. For the first time in months, the smile felt genuine. Because occasionally it's not about losing someone, but truly understanding them. And sometimes the most powerful act is not to contest, but to listen.